Hello, YouTube. What's up? It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to Sexy Actresses Movie Month. This time we're talking about a sequel that came out in 2003. The third one's coming out next week, so I'm going to be reviewing it for that. And that is Bad Boys 2. What You Gonna Do When the Sequel Comes for You. Yeah, I saw this movie a long time ago, but I remember pretty much, not everything, but I remember enough of it. And I can always read a synopsis, so let's get to it. Hang on for maximum mayhem, full on fun, and the wildest chase scenes ever put on film. Well, that's debatable, but it's still good. The action and comedy never stops when superstars Martin Lawrence and Will Smith reunite as the out of control, trash talking buddy cops. And it's all R rated, by the way. Bullets fly, cars crash, and laughs explode as they pursue a whacked out drug lord from the streets of Miami to the barrios of Cuba. But the real fireworks result when Lawrence discovers that Playboy Smith is secretly romancing his sexy sister. Yeah, when family is involved. Gabrielle Union, the gorgeous black woman that you've seen in Bring It On, and I think she was in Cradle to the Grave as well with Jet Li and a bunch of other films. Gorgeous, gorgeous woman. Director Michael Bay. Now he's a joke, but mostly back then he gave a shit. And producer Jerry Bruckheimer from the Pirates of the Caribbean and Black Hawk Down deliver a high speed, high octane blockbuster that will blow you away. Year's most action packed and high flying flick. Sean Edwards, Fox TV. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the synopsis of Bad Boys 2, the last Bad Boys movie we got in the theaters. I mean, this third one is the first one in over 15 years. It's like the Star Wars prequels. There's a insert of the movie, these Bad Boys, and the film kind of starts out a little bit dark. I'm going to say that. Not that you can't see anything. That basically they're dressed up as how do I put this? KKK members. So if people don't like to see racist imagery on the screen, yeah. And yeah, anyway, like I said, they dress up as fake KKK members, and then they start shooting. And I'm like, yeah, that's a little bit racist, Michael Bay, but hey, it's two black guys killing the hell out of these white supremacy assholes. So if it's in a movie, I can let it go because it's just a film. This isn't like Black Klansman where you saw Adam Driver and a bunch of people dressing up in those horrible white coats. Just ugh. Jaquez, I hope that scene didn't offend you because it kind of offended me. I'm like, yeah, they would never do that in three. In three, they're not going to do anything racist like that. They might have a few black jokes, but I don't think it's going to be like, yeah, anything like that. But yeah, it's a much bigger budgeted movie. The first one cost like what? What did the first Bad Boys cost in 1995? I'm saying the 1995 film, not the one from the 80s with Sean Penn. The first one only cost 19 million. This movie, I'm not kidding, cost 130 million dollars. Damn, that's an expensive movie. I guess because they had to pay Will Smith and Martin Lawrence like probably 30 or 40 million a piece. Because my God, the movie. I will say this: the money's on the screen. There's no giant robots or anything like in Transformers, but that's a lot of money. And the fact that this movie only made like it made about double its budget, so it did okay. The reception was negative though, but there are problems with this movie. It's an awesome sequel, but there are problems. One I do agree with. This movie's too freaking long. Bay, you do not have to make us wait in the theater for the action. This movie is 2 hours and 27 minutes. I know if you've seen the movie, you don't feel it sometimes, but I felt it the first time I saw it. There is way too much time spent with the villain and his family. There's scenes that could be cut out with Mike Lowry and Gabrielle Union. I don't know. It's not that I don't buy them. It's just that it's filler. Like they put a love story here, like they did in the first one with T Leone. At least with that, it felt natural to the plot. Here, it just felt like padding. Bloated plot, extreme violence, and misogyny. I am fine with the extreme violence. This is a R-rated Michael Bay movie. That's fine. I'm fine with that. The opening I thought was a little bit too racist. So misogyny. Hey, in a Michael Bay movie, every woman is a piece of ass. I'm sorry. I hate to burst your bubble, but every single woman that has worked for Michael Bay knows they're there for either eye candy, a background character, or if they're a little girl, they're just a filler character. I don't think it's that misogynist. The Transformers films are more misogynist. Yeah, those are. The Island, well, Scarlett Johansson is not over sexualized, but I don't know. It just with that, I disagree with. But it is too freaking long. You can cut 20 minutes from this movie, and it would be free. Much more fluid in the pacing. The violence doesn't bother me. Like I said, it's an R-rated movie. You're not going to get punches and kicks here. You're going to get explosions, gunfire, and freaking like a lot of blood. It's fine. That doesn't bother me. Also, there's a scene that could have been cut out with rats having sex. That was not needed. That's the same stupid humor, freaking sophomoric humor that he put in Transformers 2 when the dogs are humping. That wasn't needed. Gabrielle Union is fine in the movie. She's a gorgeous woman. Like any movie she's in, I'm gonna be looking at her because she's just black women are the sexiest women in the world for me. Roger Ebert gave the film 1 out of possible 4 stars, saying offended by one scene involving a teenage boy and the use of the N word. I'm not going to repeat that because I'm not racist, guys. I don't like Brits. It doesn't mean that I'm racist. I just don't like the way they talk. That's my biggest peeve. The needless cruelty of this scene took me out of the movie in the minds of makers. It's Michael Bay doing a black movie. What do you expect? That's why he doesn't do it anymore. That's why the third movie, mercifully, he's not directing it. So it's not going to have his stench on it. I know some people have a problem with him not doing the movie, but I think it's for the best because I don't need the freaking. I'll take CGI explosions over racist humor and 20 minutes with the villain's family that I don't give a shit about. On an episode of At the Movies, Ebert Roper named it the worst movie of 2003. Sorry, Richard Roper, but go fuck yourself. This is not the worst movie of 2003. Did you see the Hulk movie from 2003? Huh? That's way freaking worse. It's not. This is not the worst movie. This is not even the worst sequel from 2003. Among the more positive reviews, Ellen A. Kim, who wrote the film, was mindless fun. Yeah, that's exactly what all of these movies are. The first one was no masterpiece, but it's a good movie. It's a good Michael Bay movie with his first film that he directed. It was not a music video. It was a fluid plot, good action, funny moments. Villain is weak, but that's one of the only problems I have with it. With this one, yeah, it is bloated. It is too long. You could cut 20 minutes, guys. Not every Bay movie needs to be a freaking eulogy. It doesn't need to be a novel. You can shorten the film's running time. That's why I'm happy that the third movie is shorter than this. According to IMDb, it's like 2 hours and 14 minutes. It's still 20 minutes shorter than this. Well, actually, like 11 minutes, around 11 or 15 minutes shorter. And I'm fine with that because every Marvel movie now, like every Marvel sequel, is like 2 hours long. I mean, Endgame was almost 3 hours without the end credits. 2 hours and 49 minutes with the end credits. 3 hours and 4 minutes. With that, I didn't feel it because I was invested. Here, you don't need to make a sequel twice as long. Last Jedi suffered from that, and look what happened. Rise of Skywalker did that, and look what happened. And I know people are gonna be, oh, well, you're gonna always harp on those movies. The first one raped me. Rogue One was fucking boring, and the last 3 movies sucked. Yeah, Last Jedi sucked, Solo sucked, and this new one sucks. That's why it's not making $1.5 billion like it could have if it didn't piss people off. This movie is not as bad as you say. This guy rated it a half a star, saying Bad Boys 2 isn't just bad as a catastrophic violation of every aspect of cinema. Really? So this is worse than the Ang Lee Hulk movie, which is 2 hours and 15 minutes and nothing happens. Nothing happens. This movie has a lot of action. It has a lot of good humor. It has Will Smith and Martin Lawrence being badass, just like in the first one. Again, what is the problem here? Besides like I said, the running time, the villain is weak, just like in the first movie, and there's some scenes that could have easily been cut out. I didn't say accents because I'm not going to go there. It says mindless fun if you like this type of movie. That is, the film was also praised by a few critics for its definitely handed action sequences and visual effects. Yeah, and there's no bad CGI robots or the ball, enemy scrotum or any of that. It's not that. And I think that the third one's going to do well because the first one was a surprise hit with Will Smith when he was he left his show and started doing hit movies like Bad Boys and Independence Day and Men in Black. Yeah, thank God the third movie is not like 2 different actors. It's not Men in Black International, so I'm happy about that. And I like Martin Lawrence as an actor. I know some people say he can't act. Hey, he's not Kevin Hart where he's like that's Kevin Hart in every movie he's in. Even when he's trying to not be over the top, he still sounds like he's yelling. And also, Chris Tucker's like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!" Yeah, it's unbearable. At least with Martin Lawrence, he's not unbearable in the movie. I like the way he talks. He's him and Will Smith they still have the chemistry. They still can act with each other. Unlike Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson in MIB International, they act like they're strangers with each other. Here, they still have the chemistry on screen from the first one. You still have Joe Pantoliano. I think he makes a cameo in the film. Yeah, he's in the film. Teresa Randall comes back from the first film. T. Leone doesn't come back because she was doing Jurassic Park 3. I like that movie too. Jordi Mala, I know this is going to sound weird, but he looks like a Mexican version of like Gerard Butler and Russell Crowe. It's weird. That's what he looks like. If you took Gerard Butler's eyes and Russell Crowe's face and you put them together and he was Spanish, that's what Jordi Mala looks like. Peter Stormare's in the movie, but I don't remember him being in the film. The score is good. I like the score. The film's shot well. They're not shaking the camera. They're not doing quick edits like the Taken sequels. It's R rated, so you get to see all the blood and all the action and the explosions and violence. I'm fine with the violence, guys. Joker was not exactly praised. They called it white supremacy the movie, and that's not what it was. And it was violent, but not overly violent. It's the performances that are going to keep the movie interesting. These two are guys are likable characters. They're not freaking black stereotypes like in The Force Awakens when you took a British man and you turned him into a stereotype. Again, suck my ball sack, J.J. Abrams. You and Ruin Johnston and your writers, all of them, they can all suck it. This is how you do it the right way. Yeah, the opening you could have cut the KKK thing because it's going to offend Jews and certain black people. I get it. I get it. I'm a person of color. I know that that's offensive. I know it. Just like the freaking swastikas in some of the Disney propaganda shorts and Looney Tunes shorts and freaking the Captain America and freaking what was it? Indiana Jones. Yeah, I get it. Hate exists. Deal with it. Anyway, this is a good sequel. It's not better than the first one. I still prefer the first one. It's shorter, it's sweeter, it's faster paced, but this is not atrocious, guys. Have you seen the sequels in the last decade? Did you see freaking Taken 2? Did you see Dark Phoenix? Did you see X-Men Apocalypse? Did you see The Last Jedi several times? Huh? Did you recently see Rise of Skywalker last year? Those are bad sequels. Those ruin the original films. Those hurt the audience's eyes. Those are way too freaking long. Or they're like an edited movie where they took like half the movie scenes out. This has some deleted scenes, but I haven't seen them yet. And I want to rewatch it before 3 comes out. Sony did a good job with these films. They could have been shitty PG-13 knockoff watered down versions of like Beverly Hills Cop or 48 Hours or freaking Lethal Weapon. But it didn't do the white and the black thing. And no, it said two black guys. That's gonna freaking work. And it did work. And there's language in the movie. It's R rated. They're gonna say fuck a lot and shit and all that. It doesn't hold back. I like that. And I'm glad they didn't make the third one PG-13. You don't need to. Cater to the audience that this is meant for. This isn't Shakespeare. This isn't freaking Titanic. This isn't Gone with the Wind. It's freaking Bad Boys. What did you expect, critics? And look at this. At the 2003 Bad Stinker Awards, the film won the award for Worst Sequel. Really? And we live in a world where there's freaking sequels to shitty comedies like Hangover and freaking, Hot Tub Time Machine. Yeah, you people are so freaking stupid. You critics, you bad stinkers. It was nominated for the most intrusive musical score, but lost to Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. Again, another sequel that's better than the recent one that we got. Yeah, I like the score. Who did the score? I know I'm going on a tangent, but I don't give a shit. I'm here to review Bad Boys 2. My friend Jacquez wanted requested it, so damn it, I'm gonna give you this. It's good. It's not horrible. It has a long running time, yes. But if you have a fast forward button, you can fast forward the scenes with the villain's family, and you wouldn't be missing a thing. It's about an illegal Hispanic that's freaking soliciting drugs in Miami and Cuba. Again, that's not something deep. It's not Inception, guys. Yeah, who did the score? Um, Trevor Rabin. He did. He's from South Africa. Again, not gonna say a word. He what movies did he do? Wars Disco Terry. Film scores. Okay. He did The Glimmer Man. I like that movie. It's an underrated Seagal movie. Con Air. That movie is freaking awesome. Armageddon. I'm sorry. I love that song from what was it? Aerosmith. I love that song, and I don't want to miss a thing. Michael Bay doesn't make the worst movies. If you think he's the worst director, see Uwe Boll films. See the Seltzer and Freeberg comedies. They make some of the worst freaking movies I've ever seen. Not everything, but a lot of it. Freaking disaster movies, the worst thing I've ever seen comedy wise. He did Jack Frost. He did Enemy of the State. So he's worked with Will Smith before. Gone in 60 Seconds. Bad Company. Bad Boys 2. Is he doing Bad Boys 3? No, his last one was Max, that dog movie. But yeah, he's done some scores I like. And this movie's not Shakespeare, guys. Go into it knowing it's a Michael Bay movie. It didn't need to be as long as a Transformers sequel. Those are freaking way too long. They're even longer than this. They're like 2.5 hours of nothing and just people talking, and it's all focused on humans instead of the robots. Here, it's all on humans, and there are no robots. They're stupid things, like I said, the rats having sex and the freaking villain's family and the beginning, the opening. It is badass when they take off the hoods, but those hoods mean hate, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm not. But it's not. I'm not gonna blame Michael Bay. It's not his fault. Who wrote this movie? I know Bay doesn't usually write his own films. Ron Shelton and Jerry Stahl, and the story was done by Cormac Wimberly and Marianne Wimberly. The story. They also did I Spy. I like that. Charlie's Angels, Full Throttle, National Treasure. The first one's okay. The second one sucked. G Force. That was a guilty pleasure. Who wrote Ron Shelton? He did some action movies I liked. He's 74 years old, and I do like his films. He did no, what was it? Spaceman, Bad Reputation. He did Hollywood Homicide. I like that movie. It's an underrated. It's Harrison Ford giving a shit in a movie. And Dark Blue, which was a fun. It was a good crime thriller with Kurt Russell. So yeah, he has some good stuff that he's done. I'll take a competent sequel over a bloated 2.5 hour movie that goes nowhere and has no direction. This had a direction. The only reason they didn't do three after this, right away, was because Will Smith went on to do other films. Martin Lawrence decided to, do some stand up and do some kids films for a while because he did Open Season and he did what you call it, college road trip and a bunch of others. But he came back in three, and I hope three don't kill them off, guys. Don't you dare kill these two off. Let them retire. Let them kick ass for 2 hours. We get good action. We get some laughs, and then we end the franchise on a high note. Can we do that? Because a lot of trilogies usually end on a whimper. Winkety wink wink. Even Rush Hour 3 was no masterpiece. I like it, but it has its more problems than this. At least this is R, and Chris Tucker is not in this movie. But anyway, that's my review, my long review of this badass sequel. Just go in seeing it as a bigger budgeted version of the first one. That's what it is, because it's not high art, guys. If you were expecting a like big budget, like Shakespeare play, that this is not it. This is just a fun action mindless popcorn flick. We don't have that a lot anymore because they have to put freaking agendas. Fuck agendas. This movie doesn't have that. This isn't male supremacy the movie. No. Gabrielle Union has stuff to do in the film. See it for her when she's on screen, or Teresa Randall, or even Joe Pantoliano as the police chief. He works because he's a good actor. He's not some worthless Brit that has a freaking accent that he's like drunk. Is like, I want you guys to go and shoot a bunch of baddies in Miami. Yeah, that's how half of them sound. But I'm not going to go anymore. See this movie if you've seen the first one, and see it before you see three. It's good for what it is. No agendas is fine with me because Michael Bay has done way worse sequels. Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, freaking Age of Extinction, and Last Night. Three strikes and you're out. I don't love Dark of the Moon, but there's some good things in it. It's the least terrible of those four sequels. The least terrible. And I haven't seen Bumblebee, but Michael Bay didn't do that. But yeah, anyway, Bad Boys 2. If you're not a kid, then see this. If you're an adult, watch it. Don't listen to the critics. They're dumbasses. They want high art. Freaking. They want the freaking lighthouse where a man is whacking it and is naked. What the hell does that have to do with a film, with a story, huh? At least you don't have that in this freaking movie. You don't have Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, or jerking off in the car, or naked freaking women or men, doing something. No, it doesn't have that. No, it says sexuality, but it's nothing too graphic. And it's not 50 Shades where you're trying to take something profane and make a tame version of it. No, it is what it is. And I wanted to review it. It's been so long. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Take care. My long review of this movie, it's not terrible. Give me a break. There's worse sequels that came out last year. See you guys in the next one.